Okay, so unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard about a little book called Fourth Wing. It's the fantasy novel that absolutely took over the world. But what is it really about? Well, today we're going to break down the epic story of Violet Sorrengail and her wild journey through the deadliest school you can possibly imagine. And this quote right here, wow. It tells you everything you need to know about where our story is set. Basgiath War College. This is not your average college campus. It's a brutal, high-stakes military academy for dragon riders, where survival is literally the only passing grade. So here's our game plan. We're going to follow our hero, Violet, through these 6 key stages of her incredible transformation, from a bookish girl who never wanted to fight, all the way to a revolutionary figure. All right, let's start at the beginning. I want you to meet Violet Sorrengail. She's 20 years old, and her whole life has been about one thing: preparing for a quiet life in academia. Her dream was to be surrounded by books, not killers.
The life she wanted was in the Scribe Quadrant, all about history, knowledge, and, let's be honest, safety. But that's the polar opposite of where she ends up. Why? Because her mother, who just so happens to be the commanding general of the entire army, forces her into the Riders Quadrant. It's the most dangerous, deadly path at Basgiath, a place designed to break people.
Now here's the real kicker. Violet isn't just mentally unprepared. She's physically vulnerable. She has this chronic condition that makes her bones incredibly brittle and her joints pop out of place easily. In a school where physical strength is everything, she is, by every measure, the weakest person there. It's like being a glass figurine in a world full of sledgehammers. So the big question is, how on earth does someone with a body that fragile survive a place where other students are literally allowed to kill you during training? Well, she adapts, and she turns her supposed weakness into her greatest asset. Violet knows she can't win a fight with pure muscle, so she has to outthink everyone. Her real weapon is her brain. Thanks to all those years studying, she's a brilliant strategist. And she gets clever, using her knowledge of things like poisons to level the playing field. She proves very quickly that there's more than one way to be strong. And of course, you can't have a story like this without some complicated relationships. On one hand, you've got Dain, her childhood friend. He's so overprotective he's suffocating, constantly telling her she's too weak. And then you have Xaden. He's the son of a rebel leader Violet's mother had executed. He should want her dead, but he's the only one who actually sees how strong she is, and he pushes her to be even stronger. So for every cadet at Basgiath, there's one test that matters more than anything else: bonding with a dragon. This isn't just about passing a class. It's how a rider gets their magic. And this is where it looks like it's game over for Violet. It's just a fact of life at Basgiath. Dragons are ancient, powerful, and they pick riders based on strength. They have absolutely zero interest in bonding with someone they see as physically weak. So the odds against her, they're astronomical. But then, during the bonding ceremony, it's called the threshing. Something happens that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. Violet sees a small golden dragon being bullied by other cadets, and instead of saving herself, she stands up to protect it. That single act of courage attracts not one, but 2 dragons. Yeah, for the first time in hundreds of years, a rider bonds with 2 dragons at the same time. And just like that, her whole world flips upside down. She's now bonded to Tairn, this enormous, grumpy, super powerful black dragon who gives her the power to wield lightning. And she's also bonded to Andarna, the little golden one she saved, who gives her the insane ability to stop time. Suddenly, the weakest cadet is one of the most powerful people in the entire school. This incredible new power completely reshapes her life, and it especially complicates her relationship with her supposed enemy, Xaden Riorson. You see, because their dragons are connected, Xaden is forced to train her, and his advice to her perfectly sums up his entire approach to life. He teaches her to embrace what makes her different, to fight smarter, not just harder. And what starts out as this tense, resentful training, well, it slowly morphs into respect and then into a secret, powerful romance. It's that perfect enemies to lovers story arc. They start out literally as mortal enemies because of their families. Then they become these unlikely allies, forced to trust each other to survive. And that trust, it grows into this revolutionary love, all built on the dangerous secrets they're both hiding. But right when Violet is finally finding her strength and finding love, she starts pulling at a thread that threatens to unravel the entire kingdom. She starts to suspect that the history she spent her whole life studying might just be one giant lie. And the scale of this lie is just staggering. The official story everyone is told is that Navarre is fighting a simple border war against some griffin flyers. But the real truth, the one the government is desperately covering up, is that the monsters from fairy tales are real. Dark magic users called Venin and their horrifying creatures, wyverns, are attacking civilians, and the leadership is just letting it happen in secret. And right as Violet puts all these pieces together, she's hit with the most devastating betrayal imaginable. Dain, her childhood friend, uses his magical ability, which is to read recent memories with a touch, to steal her secrets right out of her head. He tells his father everything she and Xaden have discovered. Dain's betrayal is catastrophic. It leads Violet, Xaden, and all of their friends straight into a trap designed to silence them, permanently. During what's supposed to be their final exam, they're ambushed by the Venin. They have a choice: follow their corrupt orders and escape, or stay and fight to protect a nearby village full of innocent people. They choose to fight. The battle is just brutal. Their close friend Liam is killed. Violet gets stabbed with a poisoned blade. She collapses and wakes up later in a secret place, only to see her brother, Brennan, the brother everyone thought had died 6 years ago. And that's it. That's the final line of the book. He looks at her and says, "Welcome to the revolution." She realizes her brother isn't dead at all. He's a leader in the rebellion against the very government their own mother serves. The real war, she understands, is only just getting started. And it leaves us all with this massive question, right? In a world that is fundamentally built on lies, what does loyalty even mean? Is it a virtue to be loyal to your country, or is it a curse when that country is corrupt? That's the conflict Violet is now staring down, and it's what makes this story so absolutely unforgettable.